Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Issues and Inspiration. And tonight we are in partnership with a very club that is so close to my heart, the FilAm Press Club of New York. This is a joint episode. And so stand by, stay tuned. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. And we have a very special guest. But before that, I am honored to welcome to you the president of the FilAm Press Club of New York, no other than the multi-awarded, the wonderful, ever vibrant Don Tagala. Welcome, Don. How are you?
Good
Happy
evening, Maribel.
Thanksgiving.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Maribel. Good evening, US. Good morning sa Philippines.
Yes, thanks for joining us, Don. And sorry, my friends and dear viewers, my friend and co-host Grace Labagis is right now unable to join us in this episode because she's busy and unable to juggle the time with us here. So we will have Don, and our very special guest. Don is a very highly esteemed leader and legislator in the Philippines. He is, I would like to welcome no other than Ifugao Region Representative, Congressman Teddy Baguilat Jr. Welcome po. Hello, sir. Welcome. Welcome, Congressman Baguilat. Are you able to hear us? Uh, Congressman Baguilat is from the mountain province, and he is he's trying to fix his audio. I'm honored to inform our
Hello, can you hear
audience.
me?
Oh, yes. Hello po.
Wala
Good to
akong
see
marinig.
you.
Teka lang.
Okay po. Si Congressman Baguilat,
I'll, I think
if
I need to get out first and then come back in kasi wala akong marinig.
okay po. Okay po.
Yeah.
We can do that.
But I could hear you before and then suddenly I could hear the music and then when you came in,
You couldn't
nawala
now?
yung audio.
How's that? Can you hear me?
So do
Can you
I
hear me
go
now?
out again and then come back in? No?
Okay po. Sige po.
Okay, sige.
Okay, sorry about that technical problem. It happens. So si Congressman Baguilat is from the region of the Ifugao or the Mountain Province. Familiar ka nito doon, ano? Kasi you are from Luzon, I suppose. Okay, familiar ka dyan.
Yeah, we visit those places, and then, syempre, when I used to work for Sinisquela, we went around the country then to train teachers and to give away mga TV sets para the Filipino young students can watch TV Squela at Sinisquela on in their schools live way back then.
Galing. So that's the ABS-CBN advocacy, right? For children's
Yung
literacy.
educational TV namin. So that was under the visionary we all know si Miss Gina Lopez Roy. She started all those educational TV programs under the ABS-CBN Foundation.
Galing. Now, while we're waiting for Congressman Baguilat, let me just play this one. Perhaps our audience would be interested kasi Pasko na eh. Maybe they want to buy some vacation packages na may discount. This time naman in Cebu. Let's take a look at this. Hi there again. We're back, and Congressman Baguilat is with us now. So welcome po once again, Congressman Baguilat. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us tonight. Oh,
Hello,
good
Mariver.
morning.
Sorry
It's all right. Good morning, dyan sa Philippines.
Good
Are you
morning.
in
Magandang
are you
umaga.
in Ifugao or in Banawe or in Iloilo po?
In Quezon City.
Oh, Quezon City.
Quezon City. But still, despite that, we have lousy connection.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah,
I'd like you to meet the president of the FilAm Press Club of New York, Mr. Don Tagala. He is with ABS-CBN International. Is that the correct platform or name, Don? International.
Yes,
And
hi
so,
Don.
ABS-CBN International, correct.
okay,
Kamusta
Hi
so
po,
Don.
Mr. Baguilat?
Buti naman, buti naman.
yeah, so this is a freewheeling conversation, and we would like to thank our friend Attorney Liesel for introducing you to us dito sa New York, Congressman. So,
Yeah,
sa panahon niyo po, the uh, rice terraces na eighth wonder of the world has deleted the red flag na isa siyang endangered historic site, and it was in your leadership. Could you tell us how you helped recover the condition of the rice terraces, which is a monumental and
yeah,
ancestral
yeah,
legacy dito sa Pilipinas?
yeah. It was in the list of endangered sites. So they
Mm-hmm.
call it World Heritage Sites. So there were a lot of interventions that were needed. Uh, One is really taking care of the environment, particularly the surrounding watersheds. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
Marivir and Don, yung rice terraces is an ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
You have the watershed, which provides the lifeline to the rice terraces. And then you the rice
Right, right.
terraces, which provides food for the community. And the community, which protects the watershed. Kaya may synergy siya. No? So each of these components, no, is very important in terms of program intervention. So protect the watersheds, provide the community basic services. Kasi otherwise, kung hindi nila nararanasan na there's future for them in the rice
Mm-hmm.
terraces, they would leave. That has been actually the main problem for the rice terraces, the out-migration of the younger generations.
Oh.
Um, ang mga naiiwan na lang ay yung mga matatanda o yung hindi nakapagtapos sa kolehiyo, yung mga maagang mag-asawa. Kami lagi naming
Oh.
sinasabi no, sa program namin, we would like our youth to be more educated, we would like to prevent teenage pregnancies. But yun nga, yung profile ng Ifugao farmers are the older ones or those who weren't given the opportunity to take higher education. So we had to provide the needs of the people living in the rice terraces. We had to do actual restoration.
Mm-hmm.
Dati kasi pag bumabaksak yung mga rice terraces walls, bayanihan eh.
Yes.
Pero pumasok na ang cash economy, people needed money, people needed to be paid. So we had to also do that as a strategy, no? And then yung alternative livelihood. Kasi pag magtanim ka,
Mm.
6 na buwan before ka umani. So where do you
Right.
get your source of living? It's not even enough to feed you for the entire year. No? So we have to provide them with the livelihood projects, no? Boost tourism. No? It's
Mm-hmm.
not the best solution, but it helps. No? If you have more tourists coming into the province, coming in and seeing the rice terraces, kasi that's alternative livelihood, no?
Mm-hmm.
Pasalubong, yung tour guiding. So it took a lot of interventions for us to finally remove it from the list of endangered sites. And most important pala, I almost forgot, no, yung
Mm-hmm.
appreciation for culture. Kasi ang rice terraces, it was built by the Ifugaos, no, based on
Mm-hmm.
their social-cultural foundations. No?
Right.
Paniniwala nila sa mga sa spirituality, sa oneness with nature. There are a lot of rituals connected to the rice terraces. So we had to really make our younger generations appreciate more their indigenous culture, their indigenous knowledge, for them to at least make a choice to stay in the rice terraces for some, not all. Kasi talagang diaspora rin ng Ifugao. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
leaving the province. But at least one, lagi kong sinasabi, at least one of the children should stay behind and take care of the ancestral heritage. And that requires really trying to promote our culture and appreciation for it.
Yeah, I understand you are a native of the Ifugao region, right, Congressman?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so you went back. You went back to serve your community and your ancestry. So how do you mix the old and new worlds po?
Yun nga kasi sa
Oo.
totoo lang, I was born in Manila. I grew up
Uh-huh.
in Manila, and then parang I felt growing up that I didn't belong here. Hindi naman sa hindi ako masaya. I was looking for something deeper, something with more relevance, no? So sabi ko sa magulang ko, I'd like to discover my roots. So I went back to Ifugao. That time, wala pang kuryente, walang
Oh.
TV, walang cable, walang internet, no? So, but no, I love the, the rural life, no? Kasi ang feeling mo pag umuwi ka doon sa Ifugao is hindi ka lang bahagi ng isang neighborhood. You're part of an entire tribe. There are a lot of festivities, rituals, perform weddings, no? Engagements, no? Cultural festivals. Na lahat imbitado. Hindi katulad
Oo.
dito sa Metro Manila, sa mga events, only the family or closest relatives attend. Pero doon sa Ifugao, talagang bahagi ka ng isang tribe. So, yun, at 13 years old, I decided to uproot myself from the city and took a leap of faith and continued my studies in Ifugao. So, I could say that I'm the best of both worlds, city life and provincial life, at the same time, urban mindset, and also indigenous from an indigenous perspective.
That's nice. Don, do you have a question for Congressman?
So, Congressman, I understand you're running for a seat in the Philippine Senate, diba? So, syempre, when you're running for office, you know, most people want to change the world or change or magbago ng something. So, tell us, ano ba yung gusto yung baguhin sa Pilipinas as a lawmaker?
Marami. I've been in Congress for 9 years. No? And I'd like to think that we really need progressive lawmaking. Mga batas that really address the root causes of our problems, whether it's poverty, whether it's hunger, whether it's inequality. Kaya kung titignan mo yung track record ko sa Kongreso, most of the laws that I have been pushing is about natural resource management, having a new mining law, having a lag ban on our remaining natural forests, no? Fighting for the rights of indigenous peoples, perhaps an extension or even a new agrarian reform law, having a law on anti-discrimination against the LGBT. So these are very difficult laws to pass, no? But I think we need some progressive lawmaking, no? And this is what I'd like to bring into the Senate. One is my perspective as an indigenous person, yung aming skill of building consensus. Kasi ang ating demokrasya sa Pilipinas, masyado siyang acrimonious eh. It divides people. No? Sa katutubo kasi, while there's debate, there's discussion. Pero at the end of the day, tribe eventually tries to reach a consensus. No? So I'm a consensus builder. That has been my record also in the House of Representatives. No? I've been helping in building peace agreements among tribal communities. No? And then the second one is bringing in the lens of the environment. Kasi bilang isang katutubo, we're very, that's our knowledge, that's our skill, that's our expertise, no? Taking care of the environment. Kasi kung titignan mo, the remaining biodiversity of the Philippines, most of the remaining watersheds of the Philippines, less than 20%, no, ay nasa loob ng mga katutubong ninunong lupa. So again, my track record in the House of Representatives has been pushing for a lot of environmental bills. That's something that I'd like to continue in the Senate. Lalong-lalo na usapin climate change. I think dyan sa United States, the climate change or environment is a big issue during elections. Ganon rin sa Europe, ganon in other countries. Sa Pilipinas, hindi masyado ma-review and done Hindi masyadong napag-uusapan climate change. Samantalang, no, one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change ang Pilipinas. Yep. Palagi tayong tinatamaan ng mga bagyo So much flooding in the Philippines, so much extreme weather we're exposed to, either long periods of drought or really very strong typhoons. No? Kaya sa akin, meron kinakailangan rin tayong mambabatas na yun yung kanyang itutulak. How do we reduce fossil fuel emissions? How do we protect our remaining watersheds? Marami akong naiisip na mga panukalang batas. Baka magandang pag-usapan kung sakaling may pagkakataon.
That's good. You said, sir, that you are a consensus builder. Sa tingin nyo, it works in our political culture in the Philippines, yung consensus? Mahirap
Sana.
yata.
Sana. Mahirap, of course. Kasi
Uh-huh.
dito, social media has made enemies out of a lot of friends. Masyadong napopolarize yung ating kababayan. Kaya nga lagi ko sinasabi, social media is not a good avenue for discussion and debate. No? It's an avenue for expression, of course, but debate, no, not social media. Unfortunately, ganun na nangyayari. No? So, one, in terms of consensus building, kinakailangan kasi yun yung kanyang magiging skill, no, how to build consensus. At the same time also, sa akin importante rin yung pagtingin natin sa educational system natin, no, how to teach or how to educate people about the indigenous way of life, no, love for nature, love for human rights, love for democracy. Kasi nakakalimutan na natin yan sa ating educational system, no? Even how to teach the current generations and generations to come about how to become responsible practitioners of social media. There's a lot of misinformation, how to be able to discern what is fake news. I mean, bahagi na yan ng buhay ng mga kabataan ngayon. So I think the educational system has to adjust to this new normal and really be able to teach our young practitioners of social media, no, how to become more responsible.
Right. Don, you have your points.
So, Congressman, you mentioned earlier. Yeah, Congressman, you mentioned earlier that we live in a very polarized world, whether it's online or whether it's in real life, diba? So, in one of your interviews, you said you are pushing for the return of positive Filipino values and culture if elected as senator. So, tell us more about that. How do you want that to happen?
Starts with the educational system. We have young minds who are very impressionable. Yung mga kabataan natin ngayon, at least hindi pa masyadong exposed to social media. But once they start really having their Facebook accounts on YouTube, doon pumapasok yung kanilang values. So doon sila nakaka-discover ng mga values. Especially because of this situation, we don't have a lot of face-to-face classes. It's mostly online. So ang buhay ngayon ng kabataan is really online. It's gonna continue even after we survive this pandemic. So sa tingin ko, really has to be strengthening education. Every time I talk about, pushing for positive cultural values, marami nagsasabi na good moral character, which was part of our grading system before. So I think that has to be emphasized. Even the way we look at history. Kaya nga, minsan nakakagulat, no? May magsasabi na okay lang daw ang corrupt basta may magagawa. Interviews ng mga young people, no? Kailangan ang isang bastos na leader basta may magagawa. Basta action-oriented. No? So even our values on what a good leader is changing. So I think it really has to be, not just of course the parents, no, but also yung sa ating education system. I hope that we strengthen subjects that talk about real history, the truth in our history. So we shall never forget because there's a lot of revisionism going on right now, mostly in social media. Pero kung babasahin mo rin kasi yung mga textbooks natin, it glosses over the martial law years, no? Yung mga nangyaring pang-aabuso sa martial law. And that's why children, they say, no, wala namang problema sa martial law. Basta may disiplina daw during martial law. Those were the golden years. So yun, it really starts to me, it's with our educational system.
Right. Thank you po. And you're running for Senate. Are you aligned with a specific political party, sir,
Yeah,
or a
I'm
candidate?
with the ticket of Lenny Robredo and Kiko
Hmm.
Pangilinan.
So is that liberal or?
I'm with the Liberal Party. I've been with the
Hmm.
party since 2001. Been in politics for almost 30 years. So yung first term ko as governor, I was with LP, and since that time I've been with the Liberal Party. Lenny is our party chairperson, although she filed as an independent. So
I
mas
see.
inclusive na ngayon yung slate na. I'm the only one of two Liberal Party members in her ticket, including
Hmm.
Senator Laila De Lima. The rest comes from other political organizations.
Oh, I see this. Tingnan niyo po ito, Don and Congressman. Cordillera landing on you. This is being hit sa crash landing on you. So
Yeah,
this is your your campaign poster mo yata ito.
no, that's
Sharon
our
has it.
social enterprise.
Uh-huh.
Kasi during the pandemic,
Oh, okay.
problema, no, yung mga gardeners,
Mm-hmm.
nabubulok yung kanilang mga produkto kasi walang transport products nila to the cities.
I see.
Nagkaroon na ng problema sa food supply, no, during the pandemic. So we started this social enterprise. We buy as much as possible, no, we buy products directly from producers kung kaya, and then bring it directly to our consumers in Metro Manila. So naging, syempre during the pandemic, naging K-drama
Yes.
enthusiasts.
Right.
So yung crash landing on yun, naging Cordillera landing on yun. It's really a big hit. We have a lot of customers now. We bring in Cordillera products, whether it's coffee or
Mm-hmm.
honey or Good Shepherd products to Metro Manila through Cordillera landing on.
Amazing. So that's a silver lining po in the
Yeah,
pandemic kasi the producers are selling their products doon sa urban
yeah,
places na wala namang pagkain, walang supply.
yeah. Lagi,
That's
that's
amazing.
those are the emerging businesses na rin, eh. Online
Mm-hmm.
selling, yung traders, even small traders na directly buying from producers, local producers at fair prices, and then selling them directly to online customers at cheaper prices than what you get in the supermarkets.
That's
Emerging
great.
business na yan dito sa Metro Manila.
I hope makarating kayo dito sa US kasi nami-miss namin yung pagkain diyan.
Yeah, sure.
Sana in bulk.
Yung
Sana in bulk.
pinikpikan namin, no? Saka yung aming kape.
Pero what are the industries that have died or have to shut down during the pandemic? And what are those industries that have, other than what you mentioned, that have, you know, sprouted?
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, dito sa where I live, no, still a
Mm-hmm.
lot of establishments. So, some restaurants, no, are starting to open, but marami pa rin yung mga sarado. Real estate siguro is taking a hit right now, no. Construction is starting again, no, but still it's a very well, you would say na erratic pa rin yung growth natin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, Online definitely is going to be the new thing. It's really going to be a new economy. That's my prediction. No? In the coming years, kinakailangan we have to think of an economic recovery that's more environment friendly,
Mm-hmm.
that's more inclusive. Kasi what the pandemic has shown is that the rich actually are able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi nga nila yung mga big companies, no, are still thriving well during the pandemic. It's the small and medium enterprises, and it's really the
Right.
poor that really get suffer a lot during the pandemic. That's global.
Mm-hmm.
So sa tingin ko, we have to think of building back our economy. We have to build back better by making the economy more inclusive. Kumbaga walang naiiwanan sana. And more sustainable. We now have to think not just of the current futures, but the current generation, but the future generations. That's why yung aking binibitbit mo sa linya ni Ma'am Lenny is really terms of the economic development is looking at green jobs,
Mm-hmm.
generation of green jobs, whether it's cleaning up our river systems or having massive reforestation. That's going to generate green jobs. And let's say we really have a ban on single-use plastics because it's really
Mm-hmm.
polluting our coastal waters and
Yeah.
the rivers. Kaya nga bumababa rin yung ating fish catch. Then it's also going to bring in new businesses, no, who will be into alternative, greener packaging. Even the shift to a safer and greener energy sources. Kasi ngayon ang Pilipinas dependent on oil, on coal, no, for
Right.
electricity. So let's shift to solar and wind. That's also going to generate green jobs, no. So I think we will be able to build back our economy better if we look at these new strategies, no. There is an energy mix, no, or even our lifestyle. Kasi ang pinakamalaking polluter in terms of fossil fuel emissions is in private vehicles.
Mm.
So our team with Lenny Robredo, no, and Kiko Pangilinan were for more pedestrian lanes, better pedestrian lanes, and better bike lanes. So it's a lifestyle change rin. Na marami kasi talaga sa atin, dalawa-dalawa, tatlo-tatlong kotse. So yun, no,
Yeah.
those are just the things that I'm thinking of in terms of how to resuscitate the economy and also protect the environment at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Don, do you have something in mind?
So, Congressman, going back to the proliferation of fake news, misinformation, disinformation, as a lawmaker po ba, do you think it should be regulated when it comes to social media, or do you think that those who knowingly and deliberately mislead and misinform our kababayan should be held accountable?
Well, in terms of legislating social media, or regulating social media, or even kasi may mga panukalang batas, yung passing a law on fake news. Ang hirap nun eh. Actually, wala pa talagang batas sa mundo, no? As far as I know, which really penalizes fake news. So it's really more engaging social media platforms to at least establish their own code or self-regulation. Because pwede naman you can have develop more algorithms and more apps, no, to determine which is fake news. And then I'm going back to my previous proposition that we really capacitate the schools, no, on how to educate our children, no, how to determine fake news and make sure that they think that they realize that fake news is bad. No, yun naman ang importante, no. That's why I'm also pushing yung positive discipline law to also give parents, no, the tools and the skills on how to positively discipline their children with regards to their use of their gadgets or their engagement in online activities or in the internet. Pero yung regulation on fake news, okay, I'm willing to have it be discussed in the Senate. Pero yun nga, ang danger kasi doon is it could be used also to curtail freedom of expression. That's why bilang isang human rights advocate, because I also used to be the executive director of the ASEAN Parliamentarians for Human Rights. No? Ang mahirap talaga, and we don't recommend it, but we do feel the need that it has to be addressed. No? So it really takes a lot of public education, engagement with business companies, social media platforms. Anyway, meron naman tayong cybercrime law. It's something that also regulates criminality in the digital world. So yun lang siguro kinakailangan palakasin.
I see.
Pero Congressman, without laws, do you think na, for example, Facebook should put more effort in fact checking yung mga lumalabas sa social media, or make sure na if there's misinformation, tatanggalin, in regulation in that terms, not necessarily by law, but self-regulation, for example, ng Facebook na maglagay ng more fact checkers and more, if alam natin na lie talaga, then it has to be taken down.
Yeah. Yun nga sinasabi ko, yung engaging these companies, no, to do more self-regulation. The way we in media do it, diba? Wala namang regulation in terms of code of ethics among media. Of course, there's libel, there's slander, but otherwise, no, it's our kasi ako journalism rin ako that's my course. No? Otherwise, ang ating protocol sa media really is really self-regulation, making sure that the news that you write and report out is accurate and valid. That's part of our protocol. Ganun rin sana sa mga social media apps, no? Although ang lagi kasing sinasabi ng social media is the reason why social media sells is because freedom of expression eh. No, minsan nagmumura nga sila eh. Pero but there are certain regulations, no, that they can impose. No? I think for instance in the Philippines, TikTok, bawal na yata mag-post ng political content na medyo divisive, no, patira, at least in TikTok, no. I know Twitter also does that in the United States, so maybe they just need to employ more people to do fact checking and immediately take down yung mga posts or yung mga tweets, no, mga videos that really are sowing disinformation and fake. Kaya naman nila kung gugustuhin eh. I think in the Philippines, Facebook started to do that. No?
Yeah. We're about to wrap up, Congressman. I'd like to ask you kung sa campaign yung ito, how do you ensure that your word is out there and the young people are listening to you and buying into your message? Paano po kayo ma-ensure na mauupo po kayo sa Senate?
Yeah, because my challenge right now is of course my awareness, no, my popularity. Sa Senado kasi minsan ang prescription is a lot of resources and popularities. That's why we have the same names being voted or being elected time and again. No? So sa akin, it's really trying to raise my awareness, and then yun nga, ang panata ko sa sarili ko, no. I know wala naman ng ilusyon na madali ito, pero to really go out and talk about the issues I believe in. Human rights, democracy, the environment, marami, freedom of information, National Land Use Act, anti-discrimination bill. Alam ko, minsan yung mga kababayan natin, gusto nilang marinig yung ayuda, ganyan, kalusugan, but I'd really like to balance, no, my campaign by also trying to talk to town hall, in town hall discussions about issues that also matter. I think yun yung sa tingin ko after they start to get to know me and then they listen to my advocacies. Doon, mako-convert ko sa kanila, sa sila, no? Kasi sana may bago namang mukha sa Senado, no? Na nanggaling sa lente ng mga katutubo, lente ng kalikasan.
Right. All the best to you, Congressman. Don, do you have any more questions before we wrap up?
Maraming salamat po, Congressman, for all your mga reply or answer sa ating mga questions. So,
sure.
Good luck po sa inyong campaign.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Maribel.
All the best. Magpahinga naman kayo kahit konti.
Of course.
in between your sorties.
Yeah, so, that's needed.
Yes, it's needed. So all the best. We're praying for the Philippines and we're watching every time kung ano na nangyari sa ating mga kababayan dyan. At sana everything will come out better for everyone po. Thank you so much. So
thank you.
Thank you po, Congressman, and all the best. Okay, so that's it. It's like 40 minutes, Don. As I asked of your time, na 40 minutes lang tayo. Maraming salamat sa iyong time. And let's take this opportunity to invite our community, Don, para sa ating 10th anniversary party, wherein you are at the helm of the leadership.
Yeah. So the Philippine American Press Club is celebrating our 10th anniversary on December 2 sa Philippine Consulate, and we are raising funds, to ensure na yung mga Philippine American Press Club members are trained and their skills when it comes, mga journalistic skills nila are enhanced, especially when it comes to covering elections, lalo na by May 2022 is the Philippine presidential election. So we want our members ready to cover the elections in the Philippines as well as the overseas absentee voting dito sa US.
Awesome. Thank you, Don, for that. And so we're all rolling our sleeves to have the best of our celebrations and fundraiser for a greater cause, greater than ourselves. Thank you, Don, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Attorney Lizelle for tuning in and for everybody else. And so we will leave you with this closing video. Thank you so much.